Good morning, everyone. Welcome. It's my privilege to be here presiding over this ceremony this morning. And to begin, I'm going to ask you to remain standing. My judicial assistant, who's a member of my chambers, is here today, and she is going to sing our national anthem, Christine Boudreaux. Christine?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in, and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Christine. We're proud. I haven't seen a crowd like this for a long time. So that's great. We're glad you're here. We have a rule that prohibits photography in the courtroom. However, that rule is suspended today. So to be clear, you may take photos and videos, and you are encouraged to do so. So do not worry about that. Before we begin, I want to recognize our elected officials who are here today and the representatives on behalf of our elected officials who are here today. First, I'm going to introduce the representatives who are here, and then you'll hear a few comments from our one of our elected officials who is personally present, we're privileged to have. And so this morning, on behalf of Senator Charles Grassley, we have Kyle Cottrell, who is here. And from Senator Joni Nerd's office, we have Michelle Beck. And then from Congresswoman Marianette Miller-Meek's office, we have Nicholas Stefanoviches. So thank you for being here this morning. We always appreciate our representatives, our elected representatives and officials sending representatives to be here at this important ceremony that recognizes some of the foundations of our country. Also, personally present here today, we have Davenport Mayor Mike Matson. Mayor Matson, thank you for being here. Do you want to welcome everyone this morning with a few remarks?
Yes.
Step forward, yes.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to the representatives, Michelle, and Senator Ernst, and Senator Grassley, and Representative Miller-Meeks. You guys do an awesome job. So I just want to take a moment on a Friday, beautiful day outside in Davenport, Iowa. So many people here welcoming you through your long road and path to get to this place today. What an awesome thing that you are now a citizen of the United States here at home. Thank you for wanting to do that. Thank you for going through the process and sticking with it. We know sometimes that's a long and hard effort, but I can't be prouder of the family members and friends that are here to support you, and of course you that have stuck with this and decided to become a part of what we all believe is the best country in the world. So welcome, thank you, appreciate so much everybody being here, and what a great day in Davenport, Iowa, to welcome you officially. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Great job.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a privilege to have you here this morning. You have an open invitation to always come to these ceremonies. So, thank you. With that, the next thing we are going to have this morning, we have with us from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Office. We have two officers here today, Officer Darren Thompson and Assistant Eileen Lynch, and one of them is going to give us the roll call of the petitioners. Officer Thompson. Good morning, welcome.
Thank you, Robert. May it please the court, the following candidates for U.S. citizenship have been examined by an officer of the USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, Department of Homeland Security, and have been found eligible for citizenship upon taking the required oath of allegiance.
You may step forward with the mic if you want. Thanks.
I now ask that when I call your former country candidates for naturalization, please stand and remain standing until the oath of allegiance is administered. We have one person from Bosnia and Herzegovina. One from Burma. One from Burundi. Two people from Canada. 5 from Congo Kinshasa. 1 from Guatemala. 1 from Honduras. 1 from India. 1 from South Korea. 2 from Liberia. 3 from Mexico. 1 from Nicaragua. 1 from Pakistan. 3 from the Philippines. 1 from Spain. Our largest contingent, 9 from Sudan. 2 from Taiwan. 1 from Thailand. 1 from Togo. And 4 from Vietnam. Your Honor, pursuant to an examination on their application for naturalization, the candidates have demonstrated an understanding of the English language, a knowledge and understanding of the history and principles of the United States, have the required residence, and are of good moral character. The United States government now moves that these candidates be admitted to citizenship upon taking the required oath of allegiance, and that the requested name changes be granted.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Thompson. And so as Officer Thompson just indicated, the next step this morning on your path to citizenship, and the final step, I should say, is for you to take your oath. And this time, remain standing as you are. Susan Lancaster from our clerk's office will administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Please respond, I do.
Thank you. May I have a seat? And congratulations. It is my distinct privilege to be the first one to welcome all of you as America's newest citizens. And that's the last step in the journey, as Mayor Madsen mentioned, is a long journey. And I know the journey for each of you to this day has been long. For some of you, it felt like this day probably might never come. But I know that you had to study hard, and you work hard, and you sacrifice. And just now, you've taken a sacred oath. You probably already felt like an American citizen before today in your hearts and minds. But having just raised your hand right now and taken that oath of citizenship, you are now an American in every sense of the word. And so for that, I could not be prouder to be the first to greet you as my fellow Americans. You being here today celebrates the uniquely American idea that citizenship in this country is a matter of commitment and conscience. This ceremony is important, not only to recognize and induct you as new citizens of this great country, but because it reminds all of us that we are a country that is bound together, not simply by ethnicity or bloodlines, but by fidelity to a set of ideas. Indeed, no other nation in the world welcomes so many new people as citizens. No other nation in that process constantly renews itself and refreshes itself with the hopes and the drive and the optimism and dynamism from each new generation of immigrants. You are all part of one of the reasons why America is exceptional. You are one of the reasons why, even after almost 250 years, America is always young, looking to the future, and always confident in the future. And so we also affirm another truth through this ceremony. And that truth is that the American journey and our success would simply not be possible without the generations of immigrants who have come to our shores from every corner of the planet. We say it so often, but we often forget what it means. We are primarily a nation of immigrants. Unless you are one of the first Americans, a Native American, we are all descended from people who came from some other place. That is also why these ceremonies are so important. And as our newest Americans, you remind us of how precious citizenship is, how much it is worth, why it is worth protecting, and why we should never take it for granted. Each of you traveled your own path to this moment from many different countries across the globe. Some of you might have come here as children who were brought by your parents who dreamed of giving you opportunities maybe they may not have had. Others of you came as adults, finding your way through a new country, a new culture, and possibly a new language. It is significant that you made the choice to become citizens. And I want to recognize that doing so took much work and sacrifice. And so now you get to celebrate as American citizens. You are truly an exceptional and diverse group. And so today I want to challenge you to do three things. First, exercise your freedoms. Stay informed, respect your neighbors, express yourself respectfully, become an active participant in your democracy, and above all, exercise your right to vote. As citizens, you will now be called upon to do your part to help build and maintain our country's best values, highest principles, and historic traditions. Second, I want to challenge you to make a difference. Keep working hard and try to move up that ladder. Keep pursuing all of the opportunities and joys that life as an American citizen has to offer. Indeed, I believe that's why you are here. That's why you chose to become a citizen, because of the promise of the American dream. It is the dream that says no matter who you are, where you come from, what your last name is, or who you love or worship, if you work hard and believe in yourself and embrace the spirit of infinite possibilities in this great country, then you can make it if you try. Third, I want to challenge you to share your stories. When you do that, that only enriches our country and reminds us that no matter our differences, as human beings and American citizens, we have so much in common. And so in closing, never forget that this country is a richer place because of people like you choosing to become citizens and making contributions to this country. Indeed, the contributions you make will be woven right into the rich fabric that is the quilt of this country. You and the new citizens like you will enrich this nation beyond any expectation. We truly appreciate it. Thank you for that. And so it is with these hopeful thoughts that I welcome each and every one of you as new citizens of the United States. Congratulations. And so next we have a representative of the Daughters of the American Revolution here with us this morning, Elaine Cressy. And Elaine has a few words for you as well, and she will introduce to us today our special guest speaker. Good morning, Elaine. Welcome back.
Where's this picture? Who's that?
Thank you, Your Honor, Judge Jackson, for this opportunity to speak to the new citizens, and it is a full house today.
Who's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Elaine Cressy, and I represent the Daughters of the American Revolution. DAR was founded in 1890. All of our members are descended from a man or a woman who is recognized as having been a patriot during the American Revolution. Since 1919, the U.S. District Court has graciously granted our chapter, the Hannah Caldwell chapter of DAR, the great pleasure of being among the first to congratulate new citizens at the Naturalization Ceremony. I see I have one other DAR member here today, Mary Downey. And I'm also very pleased that because I live in Davenport, that my mayor wanted to come today. We begin in DAR with the Pledge of Allegiance at every meeting, but we also recite the American Creed. And that's one of the reasons you were given the flag coat today. And so, the American Creed was written by William Tyler Page in 1917 and accepted by the Congress in 1918. And this is the American Creed. I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the government. A democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies. With that in mind, I passed out the code today with the flag. But it is my honor at these ceremonies always to invite the speaker. And the speaker today is my friend, Dr. Lisa Killinger. And after 30 years of being her guest speaker at her classes at home, she is now in private practice and actually practicing chiropractic here. But she is active in the local community. She's serving on the Yom HaShoah board, the Day of Holocaust Remembrance, and in the Quad Cities Senior Olympics board, and is the outreach coordinator for the Muslim community of the Quad Cities. In 2023, she was one of the winners of the One Among Us and Acamanteras Peace and Freedom Award winners, given at St. Ambrose in Davenport, but it's for the whole Quad Cities. She is a founding member of Progressive Action for the Common Good and One Human Family. And she and I are both members of another group, AAW, and she arranges the fashion show and has for the last 3 years. And if you brought any costumes from your native family, she'll be happy to talk to you afterwards about that. Welcome, Dr. Kelly.
No, and this is you.
What a happy day it is today. Congratulations to those of you who are becoming citizens today. You've taken your oath and will receive this great honor of being part of this country. And as the Honorable Judge mentioned, this is a road that has been full of work. It has been long for many of you, and also too, it just took a lot of effort and commitment and time. And we appreciate that sacrifice and commitment that you have all made to join our beautiful country. This wonderful community that you're becoming a part of is part of a bigger and greater land. You're fortunate, though, that you chose to become citizens here, because I will just say that what we're known for in Iowa is being Iowa nice. The people here are friendlier than anywhere else I've ever traveled to. They're more willing to help their neighbor and their friend. And so you're coming to a great place that really has a wonderful set of values.
Oh, what is that?
In our community, immigrants make up such an important and vital role.
This
We
one.
have doctors from at least 20 or 30 countries that are here as part of the Quad City community. We have surgeons, we have nurses, we have physical therapists and chiropractors like me,
That
doctors
thing
that
we
care
were
for
paying
spine. We have dentists, we have school teachers, we have artists, we have journalists and auto mechanics. We have all of these people who make up our Quad City community. And some are even engineers. How many of you have ever driven across or seen the I-74 bridge, the one with the beautiful light arches? Has anyone seen that? I'm a teacher, so I expect people to raise their hands.
Putting milk on the cereal.
So that bridge was built by an immigrant. The lead engineer is a friend of mine, Ahmed Abu Afifa, and he was the engineer on that bridge. And now that it's complete, he will begin working on the I-80 bridge.
Gonna put on the milk.
We owe a debt of gratitude to the immigrants of this country that keep us safe and help us to cross that great river. Other immigrants, they build or make their own businesses. Some of them bring to us the foods of their nation in a restaurant or in a stall at the farmer's market. And we're so happy because, let's just face it, your food is really great. So we're so happy to have the many, many flavors that you bring to our country as well. America is so unique. I've had many foreign exchange students, and I've also asked a lot of immigrants this question. What surprised you about America? When you came here first, what surprised you? So many of them told me that what surprised them is this. They said, where we came from, most people are very similar, but where I am now in America, everybody's so different. We have people with black hair and brown hair and blonde hair and red hair. And this week, I even saw people with purple hair, green hair, and blue hair. I don't think that was natural, but any color of hair is fine. We also have people of many skin colors. We have people of many faiths. And that is part of what makes America so very, very unique. In fact, I'm the mother of children with an immigrant father. And so they range in color from brownish caramel, I would say like a mocha latte to some, light caramel color. And I'm partial, but I do think that these colorful children just tell the story of America.
Yeah.
Our honorable judge gave the analogy of a quilt that's pieced together with many pieces of fabric, and I had already
Who's that?
made the analogy in my talk today, and I wish to say that it's a tapestry of cultures, and tapestry is defined as a complex work of art, usually with different colors and different fibers and textures. And that is exactly what you bring. You are adding your beauty to this tapestry that is complex, a complex work of art that is America. Have any of you, and this is a time you can raise your hand, have any of you ever heard of or been a part of the work of Tapestry Farms here in the Quad Cities? A few of you have. And if you haven't, especially those of you who are becoming citizens today, Tapestry Farm is a beautiful, beautiful concept that captures so much of what's happening in this room. It's an organization that plants over 10 gardens around the Quad City area. And those are planted often by people who are either refugees or immigrants in the Quad Cities, along with the help of some experts in gardening. And let's face it, you may be experts in gardening too. They have the immigrants tend to these gardens, plant them and tend to them, and then as they harvest those crops of flowers and vegetables, they give some of those to people in need, and also to sell them at the farmer's market, where they use that money that's brought in from many tens of thousands of pounds of vegetables and flowers that they grow every year to help with immigration services and to make lives comfortable for those who are in need that are new to this country. And I think it's a very, very beautiful thing. You are the ones who have planted yourself, just like that Tapestry Farms gardens. You planted yourself here in our garden of the Quad Cities. And now you will make our Quad City community richer by your presence here through the wisdom and the culture and the beauty that you bring from your place of birth and now have landed here. We are very, very fortunate to have you. So my prayer for you, and I would say I can include many in this prayer for you, is that you will all grow and flourish here in our community, as so many have before you. We hope that you will find this home that you've chosen in America to be a good one. No, a great one. On behalf of the Quad Cities community, welcome, bienvenido, marhaba. Buakari via Kheriaye, willkommen, bienvenue, ahlan lik, Juanin, and in any way that you can say it in your own language, welcome to each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts.
I didn't see this one.
You can listen to it later, so you can't listen to it right now.
Dr. Crozier, thank you very much for those kind remarks. Very much appreciated. Welcoming remarks. That was impressive. I don't know how many different languages she said welcome. That was very impressive. I'm sure. So, we are about to the end of our ceremony, and it's appropriate, as Dr. mentioned, this is really a welcoming ceremony for all.
What is this house?
And we embrace you as new citizens today. And so we are going to conclude with a couple of things. First, we will say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the court will adjourn. I have signed the request for name changes as well, so those motions are granted. Once court adjourns, anybody who wants to stand in the receiving line from our speakers and guests today, we'll kind of have a receiving line that's kind of behind the podium right here. We will give you your certificate of citizenship and personally congratulate you. And so we'll call you and kind of have you walk around this way. We will stick around after that for photos if you want photos or things of that nature. So maybe you hold off on the photos during the presentation of the certificates, and then we'll stick around after that, and you can take photos if you want to with your friends and family as well. We'd all be happy to do that. And so that's how we will proceed. And so at this time, Elaine would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone please stand.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The special ceremonial session for the purpose of naturalization is now adjourned. Congratulations.
They see Tampa right there. Come over here.
We'll go to a restaurant. Don't get to see each other.
Adam, Malik. Luz, Merida, Valtierra, Cordova.